Testing, testing. Let's see if we are live. We should be live very soon. Hopefully, we're live very soon. Well, we are live. Actually, I'm just logging into my YouTube account. Let's have a look. Live streaming. Okay, now we're going live on Facebook. Finally. Should be live on YouTube. Alright. Now we're going to go live on Facebook. Cool. Okay, we're good. Morning, people. How you guys going? It's Sunday morning. This is totally haven't even looked at the days. The days blur in, guys. When you don't have a job, you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to report to anyone. The days just go fast. All right, do your thing, but yeah, you don't have to worry about days. That's for sure. So good morning, everyone in crypto land. Today's live stream, I'm going to just talk about a couple of things that you should know. You know, give my opinions on it, and then obviously this is not financial advice. Just do your due diligence, and then you know, if you do your due diligence, then there's no issues, there's no problems, because it's just that when people don't do their due diligence and just invest blindly, and that's when you know, we get chatter like this. So let's just go to Twitter. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, wrong one. So let's just go down to you know, now people are calling Ian Blean as a shill. Saying that he promotes stuff to his benefit, and you know, all this sort of stuff. They're calling him Ian Shillina now. You know, and look, that's just human nature. It's just people that you know, obviously they're probably just pissed off that they missed one chain. They're probably pissed off that they missed Icon, you know, or whatever, right? But look, at the end of the day, if you follow Ian Bleaner, there's no doubt that this guy's like the poster child, or I would say he's like the Brock Pierce was the poster child, or the pin-up guy for EOS. This is like Ian Bleaner is like the pin-up guy for ICOs. You know what I mean? He's got 100 and something thousand followers on Twitter, 100,000 or something on YouTube. So basically everyone, but see, here's the problem. What people do is they follow him blindly, and then they whinge that when he sells off stuff on his portfolio, they have a whinge. And then now they're calling him a shilling, you know, Ian Shillina. So you know, this fight is going around. People are saying this sort of stuff. They're just, you know, they're just not happy because he sold his Icon off, you know. But you know, my take on this is I don't follow everyone religiously. If you just follow Ian Bleaner religiously, you're an idiot. You shouldn't follow him religiously. You shouldn't follow Superman, or even me. I mean, I'm not even in that category, but I mean, I've got my own sort of private group. I'm not mainstream. Or even any of the other people on trading, even other people in crypto, or not just ICOs, in crypto, traders. You know, you shouldn't be following these people religiously anyway, but that's what people do. So when Ian Bleaner sells his Icon, or sells his one chain, or buys more one chain, people do exactly the same. And this is why they're calling him a shiller, because Um, he's promoting stuff, um, but he's transparent about it. But the thing is, they're just following him blindly, right? So whatever he does, they'll do. And then now that he sold his icon, they were kind of pissed off. You know, you didn't tell me about it. Well, he's not going to tell you about it anyway, right? Even myself, if I'm going to go and buy into or sell a whole bunch of stuff, I'm always going to tell you afterwards. I'm not going to tell you immediately because why would I do that? I'll just create more competition for myself. So personally, I think this guy is fantastic for the community. He's done a lot for crypto. He's trying to bring it mainstream. He's done like I think he's bringing out like a rap album. He's done rap songs, and he's done more for the community than you know, pretty much all these people saying that, calling him out, putting hate on him, and yet they still follow him. You know what I mean? This is the funny thing about it. So yeah, so this is what I got to say to those people that just calling him a shill. Well, I would just say to you, just don't follow someone blindly. Don't get pissed off because they sell. Everyone's got their own decisions, can make their own decisions. Why you just because when he sells you get pissed off? Like, you know, you should be making your own decisions, and don't just follow someone blindly. Personally, for myself, I like the guy. I think he's done a lot for the space. I missed out meeting him in when I was over in America, and we just got back from Australia when he was in Thailand. So, you know, hopefully I'd like to go to one of his meetups one day. But personally, from a investing perspective, I've probably made $250,000 from, you know, his recommendations. So, I mean, trust me, I got no issues with the guy. Again, some of the many ICOs that I've purchased have not even been the ones that he's recommended. So yeah, that's what I say to those people calling him a shill. Don't just buy everything that he says. They just buy everything he says, and when he sells it, when he buys stuff, they just go and buy it. They don't even think twice. They basically don't have a brain, and they just follow him blindly. So don't do that. Don't do that. Take everything with a grain of salt. Learn from, you know, people like Ian and other people as well. Just take bits and pieces from everything and put the puzzle together for yourself. What's best for your investing. But the one thing that he says, and as well as I say as well, is don't get greedy. Once you get your once you make some profits in ICOs, just at least take your seed out. If not all your seed out or some of your seed out. Don't get greedy. This is the biggest mistake I see from newbie investors. They're like, oh, it's going to go to the moon. It's going to, you know, then they start praising how, you know, they're part of the little bandwagon, little groupie kind of, oh, you know, it's going to go to the moon, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we all get emotional about that stuff, but real investors don't get emotional. It's all about the money, right? It's about, okay, I'm going to invest so much, I'm going to risk so much, and when can I get that return back? And then once I get that return back, I'll pull my seed out. Well, then, you know, it's all profit or it's all house money. Whether I ride it or I take my initial investments out, my seed out, I take the lot out in the beginning, or I just buy back in, or I just take my seed out and let the rest ride. You don't get emotional about this stuff on the, you know, oh yeah, you know, the team, it's going to go all the way to the moon and all this sort of shit, right? You're here to do one thing, and that's to make money, right? And not get emotional about all this bullshit, right? You just rely on the data, and if the data tells you that it's good for long term, then, you know, you take your seed out, and then you long term, okay, you might let the rest of it ride, but don't get emotional about it. You know, I see these people got emotional about Electronium. These typical newbies. Oh, it's gonna go to $100, you idiots! Like, dude, it's still sitting at what, 3 or 4 cents. The team is not even competent. So, you know, this is what I'm saying. Oh, you know, they don't even know the figures. Like, for Electronium to get to $100, it's got to be like a $3 trillion market cap just for Electronium alone. So that means it's got to be the #1 token in the world, and it's going to blitz Bitcoin. And if it's at $1 trillion market cap, then the rest of the market cap's got to be like, I don't know, 100 trillion, right? At the moment, the market cap is 346 billion. So you obviously obviously haven't done your maths. You just getting emotional and hyper. So my point is this: don't just follow everyone blindly. Don't just start calling people out saying that he's a shiller. I mean, until you've done things like gone on world tours, until you've done multiple presentations at multiple conferences and meetups, until you've got 100,000 following, and you're bringing out awareness to the crypto space, you're bringing out songs, or you're bringing, becoming evangelists in this space. Until you do that, then you got some sort of merit to criticize someone like Ian. But until you got some runs on the boards, you're just the armchair hypocrite that's sitting on his computer that you're pissed off because you didn't make any money in Icon, or you missed Wabi, or you missed Power Ledger, or you missed One Chain, or you missed Red Pulse. You missed all these big ICOs, and you're probably more pissed off about that than anything else because, he might have sold his Icon and you're still sitting on your Icon, right? So don't get pissed off about it. Just learn from these ICOs, because even though there were some big ICOs, 50x, 100x, you know what? It's not the end of the world. The world still continues, and guess what? There's going to be more in the future, right? Most of the ICOs that are coming out now are just absolutely garbage. Still white paper ICOs, people raising money because it's a good idea, and they put AI on the end of the ICO. So hey, it must be like, oh my god, it's a AI blockchain ICO. But I mean, that doesn't mean shit if it's just a white paper, right? So just what I would say is just learn as much as you can about this stuff, so then you can make your own decisions on what is best for your investing. The problem is, two people are lazy. They don't want to make their own decisions. They want to, rely on someone like Ian, so then when shit hits the fan, they complain. That's how they live their life. They don't want to take any responsibility, and they're probably still at a day job. If you're still at a day job, then in my opinion, you're not taking responsibility. You know what I mean? Okay, you might like your day job and you might like your wage, but you're not taking responsibility, right? If you want to become an entrepreneur and the buck stops with you, if you make it or break it, the buck stops with you, right? You're taking full responsibility of your life. Okay? If you screw up, that's it, you're done, you go broke. But if you make it, you become a millionaire, right? That's taking full responsibility. No, it's not for everyone, right? But that's it. If you're at a day job, I'm sorry, you're just not taking responsibility. You're taking some responsibility, but you're not taking full responsibility of your life. If you back yourself, right? If you 100% back yourself, then you know that hey, I'm going to leave my job, I'm going to back myself all the way to the bank, and I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to succeed with it. It's going to take a while. Might take 5-10 years, but you know what? I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And I want to become a winner. I'm going to win at this game. That's taking full responsibility. So if I offended anyone, I'm sorry, but that's just my sentiments. That's the truth. So let's move forward. That's my take on this. All right. Too many people are not taking responsibility. Until you do the things that this guy is doing, right? Then you got some sort of, you can talk and you can criticize him, but you ain't done shit yet. So, you're just a nobody. You're just someone that sits on a computer screen and criticizes everyone else, and you do nothing yourself. You know what I mean? That seems to be the fad, the ongoing thing. It's easy to criticize on Facebook and social media. I mean, what have you done, dude? I got 10 followers on Twitter, and I got 50 followers on YouTube. You're a nobody. No one listens to you. That's the reason. Anyway, let's move forward. So if you go to one of my things I was going to talk about was these ICO blockchains, right? These new ICO blockchains, latest and greatest ICOs, whatever, right? There's a lot of blockchains coming out, right? This IOTA Tex, What else? I think Hycon's one. Um, Sealy, all right, that's another blockchain. NKN, another blockchain. You know, so there's many of these blockchain infrastructure projects that are coming out. Nebula AI, all right. Another blockchain, Hycon blockchain. So there's many of these blockchains coming out, all right. And you guys, you need to understand one thing. Now I'm talking long term. Initially, you know, you might be able to turn it over. Um, you know, you might be able to make a 1x, 2x, 3x. That's fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual blockchain itself, right? Long term, right? And this is important that you understand this long term, all right? Hey, Kat. Hey, Tommy, Edward. Good morning. Good morning from Ghana. Good morning, Edward. Ghana, never been there, man, but I've never been to Africa. I know I have my boy down there in Kenya, Michael. He's always tuning in. But I've never been to Ghana. So yeah, welcome everyone. Yeah, pass on Flux Roman. Yeah, because their whole system runs on a debit card, I believe, or some sort of card, and that's a big no-no. So you're taking a big gamble. But again, my initially I just quickly looked at it. Flux. First of all, the name was kind of sucky, but anyway, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, they could have picked a better name, but Flux ICO. I mean, I passed on this one because simple fact that make money helping others save. Alright. Flux, maybe working product. Oh, okay, so it's an app. Okay, my bad. I thought they had a debit card to this. Pretty sure they had a debit card to this earlier on. Might have been a different one. Alright. Flux token, 10 cents for token. Token generation sale has ended. So yeah, I mean, which seat premiership, tier 1, tier 2? Yeah, sorry, it might have been a different one. I was thinking of this debit card system, right? They had a debit card system. Partnerships, 200 global brands. Why? 3 reasons why Flux will succeed. They're working with global brands, already a working app to merchant locations used by 40,000 daily people, and earn points purchasing, track, easily use mobile wallet, and cash payout to real money. This is the one I'm interested in. When the customer starts earning Flux, they can request to be transferred into their money for real bank. That's the only one that really matters. I mean, all this other stuff's just bullshit, right? Are we going to get paid? That's what matters. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go into this ICO. I don't even know if it's finished. Is it finished? So, there we go there. Flux. It's 8 cents. 204 million. Okay, it's in Copenhagen. Okay, yeah. I didn't get into the ICO, but at the moment, I mean, this going on these stats, hasn't got enough volume. All right, there's only $16,000 worth of volume 16,000 on IDEX. Copenhagen's only 6,000. So you're looking at 20 grand, 22,000 a day. That's chicken feed, right? It's too early. This project could fail. There's not enough users, and there's not enough volume. It's only on 2 exchanges, and IDEX has got the volume's not that big on IDEX, and Copenhagen is just open. So the volume is very low. So right now, in the beginning, I wouldn't invest in this. It's too risky. This needs to get up to 40,000. This needs to get up to like 1 million users before I'll put any money into this. It's too risky, right? There's no way I'd invest in this, but that's just my opinion, all right? Which kind of goes, this example here, Flux goes back to my original thing that I was going to talk about, blockchain. So this is good example. Problem with this is, yeah, the idea is great. You know, you got a bunch of people, recognize people, blah 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 blah, right? Which is great. But the problem is, it hasn't grown. It's not big enough at the moment. It's too early. It's still a high risk opportunity. This needs to get to 1 million people. Then talk to me. Then I'll have a conversation. Then I want to put some money into it, because at the moment it's just too risky. All right. So what's going to happen for it to get to 1 million people, right? Does anyone know the answer? And this is the answer that for the problem with blockchains. Does anyone know the answer? And this is what people don't understand when they're getting into blockchains, right? They don't understand this very, very important point, which I'm about to make. I said this in another live stream. Right? It can be the greatest idea in the world. Who cares? I don't care. Right? I only care about one thing. Alright? This is one of the things key to success with every crypto. You need to understand this. Alright? Does anyone know the answer? Can anyone comment to what I'm about to tell you? And I've said this before, so it's not new, but I'll explain it to you in a second. Does anyone know if this happens, then you become a multi-millionaire? If this happens, right? If it doesn't happen, then you invest into something and you lose your money. It goes nowhere. Does anyone know the answer? No. Solves a problem. No. I would say no. Everything pretty much solves a problem, but it's not the deciding factor. Everything can solve a problem. Yeah, we can solve this problem, but is this gonna make it like this solves a problem? Yeah, but it's not the game changer. It needs to be a game changer. To solve a problem is not a game changer, in my opinion. All right, it's part of the success formula. Yes, you're right, Chris. It's part of the success formula, but it's not the game changer. There's one thing that will change the game, and you get paid, and you become a millionaire. It's one thing. Yes, you're sort of right, Mike. You're sort of right, but it needs to be more evaluated. No, unique. Yes, that does help. It does help as well, but it's not the game changer, Chris. But good point. Yes, excellent. Yes, kind of a little bit. You're almost there. You're almost there, Mike. You're almost there. It is kind of what I'm saying, but it's not the exact pinpoint answer, if you want to say it, but it's leading into it. Does anyone know? Hey Lou, hey Jordan, hey Tommy, hey Baggy, hey Robert, hey Soph, hey, is everyone going, guys? Does anyone know the answer? And this is the answer to the blockchains. This is the answer to pretty much everything, in my opinion. If this happens, you get paid. You get to get your Lambo. You get to get your mansion. You get your yacht. You get your jet. You get your your little poodles. You get your big ass pool. You get a crib in Spain. You go buy your crib in Monaco. You get to buy your a different color Lamborghini on every day of the week. If this happens, it's game over. Does anyone know? Oh well, this is it. This is it, and it's why Bitcoin's number one. Right? It's why Bitcoin is number one. 2 words: mass adoption. Right? Mass adoption. So in this thing, flux, if this thing ain't going mass adoption, it ain't going nowhere, right? Why is Bitcoin number 1? Because of mass adoption. When do people talk about cryptocurrency, they don't know about Ethereum, they don't know about Ripple, they don't know about Bcash, Litecoin. Maybe they know about Ethereum, maybe about Litecoin. They don't know about Stellar, Neo, IOTA, Dash, Mono. They don't know about shit. All they know is about Bitcoin. Because one reason, mass adoption, right? If it has mass adoption, you get to buy that Lambo, and you can even have pinstripes on it if you want to, right? So what has to happen for mass adoption? This has to happen. So keep this in mind. This is long-term strategy, right? This is not flip an ICO for 1x or 2x. This is long-term. If this doesn't happen in your blockchain or your coin or whatever, then you just, like, you're gonna do your dough, right? So this is the technology cycle. This happens with everything that has ever become, there's every type of technology, right? We've got the innovators, we've got the early adopters, we've got the early majority, late majority, laggards. So, you know, we're kind of in the early adopters here for Bitcoin, right? We've kind of missed the innovators. Now we're sort of in the early adopter space. And this is going to happen with Bitcoin. It happens with every piece of technology. So think about this with blockchain, with any type of, you know, thing that you're going to go into long term. You get early adopters and then you get early majority. Like, okay, so this wave, this technology cycle happens, right? There's no ifs or buts. This will happen, right? So we're in the sort of early adopters kind of thing with phase for Bitcoin. It hasn't even hit the early majority yet. It's less than 1% penetration in the world, right? Bitcoins needs to hit, like, you know, there needs to be like 1 billion wallets open for Bitcoin until, you know, we can start to talk about early majority. At the moment, it's only 1% penetration. When it gets to like 3 or 4% penetration, then Bitcoin's going to be like 100, 200, 500K, right? So we're only in the early adopters. And the reason why Bitcoin is king is because it's got mass adoption. So when you go and invest into these ICOs, ICO is a different strategy, you're just flipping it, right? When you go into invest in these other coins, are they going to have mass adoption? Because for them to succeed, for them to become, you know, so you get your yacht and your pad in Monaco, it's going to reach mass adoption. So think about this. When you bought Bitcoin at 10 cents, of course you'd already have that pad in Monaco, and of course you'd already have that yacht and a Lambo for every day of the week if that's your thing and that's how you roll, right? Because Bitcoin is the most widely known cryptocurrency in the world, and that's why it's worth 8,600, taking a bit of a slump, right? And everything else is just chump change, right? So when you think about investing in some sort of blockchain, it might be the latest and greatest blockchain in the world. Who cares? I don't. Right? So this is a good project, right? Lambda. This is a good project, right? Does 10,000 transactions per second. We got Arc that does 5. Aeon does 20. Icon is unknown. One Chain is at 20 transactions per second. Lisk is at 5. EOS is 100,000 transactions per second. And Dragon Chain, there's no main chain yet. So what's all this means? It means how many transactions can be processed. Bitcoin is 7 transactions per second. All right? So that's how slow Bitcoin is. Lambda is like 10,000 transactions per second. EOS, but it's a good long-term project if it reaches mass adoption. Right? Arc is a good term project if it reaches mass adoption. Same with Aeon, Icon, One Chain, Lisk, EOS, Dragon Chain, if they reach mass adoption. But why is people looking at EOS, and if it can do 100,000 transactions per second, well then why isn't everyone looking at EOS saying this is the solution, right, so that we can use for cryptocurrency? Because, you know, at 100,000 transactions per second, it's not a problem, right? That's like 6 times faster than Visa. It's not going to be a problem. Then why isn't everyone using EOS and ditching Bitcoin? Right? Why? If this is so fast and this is the next UB blockchain that they have already raised or is worth $1.5 billion, why is not EOS number one? And I'll tell you why. Because of mass adoption. Bitcoin is king because it has mass adoption. EOS is number 6 at 5 billion compared to Bitcoin at 145 billion, because EOS is just, you know, a bunch of people in the crypto space pulling each other's, you know what, saying it's the latest and greatest and you can do 100,000 transactions per second. But to the outside world and the Joe Blow, who really cares? No one does. No one cares, right? Because it has to reach mass adoption. Until Joe Blow and Mary and Anne and Sylvia can pull out their smartphone and go, oh, there's an app to buy crypto, right? And what are they going to choose? They're going to choose whatever. That's when the value of this particular cryptocurrencies go to the moon, and you get to buy that Lambo, and you get to get that yacht and that pad in Monaco. That's when. But until that happens, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be getting those things because of mass adoption. It has to reach mass adoption. So these things here, these what I just showed you before, which I think I deleted. No, this one here, right? These are all great blockchains. Yeah, fantastic. Knock yourself out. But they were still worthless. I mean, some of them got some value, but compared to Bitcoin, it's nothing. It's chicken feed. Because, simple fact, what I just went over, it hasn't reached mass adoption. And it's probably not likely to, not unless Bitcoin gets toppled. All right? Bitcoin has 41%, 44% dominance in the crypto space. Until, you know, and IOTA's like, oh, you know, this Tangle and EOS is this, you know, yeah, but look at the value of EOS, it's $6. Look at the value of Bitcoin, 8,600. Now tell me, which one are you going to invest in? Right? So, you know, I hear it all the time. There's people are saying, oh, it's going to be the latest and greatest. Yeah, that's fine. Right? It has the technology to back it. I get it. Totally get it. But until it reaches mass adoption and everyone uses it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to do shit. Right? So think about that for long term. For ICOs, it doesn't really make that much difference because, you know, we flip them into 1x, 2x, and we get out of them anyway. So we make our money and we get out of it. But long term, you got to think of it long term. If you're going to buy and hold, has it got things that are going to make it long term? You know, I'm talking 2 or 3 years time. Because if it hasn't got a, if they're going to launch their mainnet like in 2020, forget about it. If they don't have an all-star team, if they don't have, you know, they're not moving forward in the roadmap. They don't have partnerships. They don't have all these things in place or coming. Then forget about it. You're going to be waiting a long time. It's not even going to reach mass adoption. So just think about that for a second, about all these things and all these cryptos that are launching and all this, you know, everyone's getting all hyped up. Even about one chain. Even one chain got hyped up to the max, guys. You know? Even one chain, guys, was like, you know, took 6 months to for one chain to come out, right? And will it reach mass adoption? Well, at this point in time, it's not going to it's not going to reach mass adoption. By the way, this is a really good one here, Binance Coin. Actually, you know what? I might even sell some Binance Coin. Actually, let's just look at the minutes. Yeah, it's going down a bit, but this is still good. I might even sell. It's going down a little bit. I might have to quickly sell. Let's just go back on the one chain, right? Let's go back to 5 minutes. Let's go back to 30 minutes. So there's a lot of hype with one chain. It came out of the gates at $5, $9, then went to $5. Now it's $4.20. But this volume has dropped, meaning if you look at the trades, see how it's just people buying and selling now. There's some big ones there, 4,000. That's not really that big in fact, but you look at this, people buying and selling, but the majority of the people, I would say, or the late comers would have already sold their tokens if they're going to sell. And then now people are just buying and trading. See, the volume's dropped off here. It was like 60 or 70,000. I think maybe it got up to 100. No, it did get up to 100,000 ether. Now it's at 13,000 ether. See, the volume's dropping, meaning that once the hype is all done, in a couple of days, this could drop. This could drop to like $3.50 or maybe $3. I don't know. Just depends. But the volume is dropping, so we'll see. And another really good one I like is BNB. Obviously, I just told you about that. I told you about this one yesterday as well. So I bought this at. I was quite late to the party. I was telling you about this one in a long time ago, actually. I was telling you about this one about 3 months ago, and it wasn't what it was before. But now it's like $14, which is pretty good. I bought in at I think $7, I think. So I'm thinking about selling some and then just take some profits and then buy back in. I need to do that very soon. Get off this live stream. So yeah, look, that's just my thoughts on these cryptos, right? Could be the latest and greatest. Could be the latest and greatest idea. It could be everything, right? It could be scalable. It could have all. It could have all. It could cross all the. It could cross all the ticks. Could have a tick in every box. But the one it fails in is to get out there in the marketplace and people start using this stuff, right? That's what's going to happen, and that's not going to happen for a long time because it's taken Bitcoin 8 years to get where it was. So it's going to be very hard for cryptos to get that market share. All right, they need to get that market share. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Nothing else to say. I think I've pretty much said it all in this live stream here now today. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Just checking if you have questions, and then I'll leave you guys. Bought BNB at 4. I think I've 45. Pretty much said it all in this 45 live stream here now today. That's so thanks everyone for tuning in. That's amazing. Just checking if you have questions, and then I'll leave you guys. Estania. Okay. You're bargain hunters. Oh, okay. How are you? That's crazy. So you bought it at 45 cents? It's now $14. How much did you buy though? I wish you've been kicking yourself saying I should have bought more, but hey, that's awesome. Next, can you? Oh man, I'll have to have a look at this one. There's a lot of hype about it. Next, actually, that's not it, is it? Um, 10x. I'm down for this. I'm ready to go into this. I'm just waiting on them. Yeah, I'm already whitelisted on this and KYC'd. Let's have a look at token metrics. Is 50 million max ICO sale amount, so they're selling 50%. Round 1 maximum contribution is $1,000. Round 2 is 9,000. That's not much. Price of one next is $1. Will this 10x? Yeah, it will 10x. It will 10x. They don't have. They don't have a. They don't have a. Hang on, they might have a Twitter. They might have a Telegram. Just trying to find the Telegram. I think I'm in there. I'm not sure. I'm sure I was in the Telegram. So you're gonna have Neo ready, guys. Neo's cheap too. Neo's at a. Oh man, Neo is cheap, guys. Look at this. Neo's at 65. I think last time I looked. Yeah, 65. 60. This is cheap, man. I see Neo going at over 500 to 700 to $800 this year. That's where I see Neo at. So cheap, man. So yeah, 50%. Okay. Yeah, yeah, there you go. I'm ready to roll. Yeah, I've got my next already there. I'm ready to roll with my. I've already got my extension and everything happening. That's right. I forgot about that. I've just got to shift some Neo to it, and then I'm good. I'm good to go. Let's just go at. So yeah, to answer your question, Sakat. Do I think? Yeah. Yes. I think this is 10x. This is a 10x. Easy. Well, let's just look at Ongo, right? I know they're different projects. Augur, sorry. Let's just look at Augur, all right? It's got 11 million Augur, and it's at $34. Let's just go look at something. They're totally different projects. I understand that. Let's look at. That's not a good example. This is a big deal. This is kind of a big deal. Yeah, it's not a. It's definitely not a Litecoin. It's not definitely going to reach over $100, but yeah, I think this is 10x. I think this is going to 5x fairly soon. It could even 5x in the first week, but definitely 10x, easy 10x. Like it might take some time. So there, Neo 65. It's not a Neo though. You can't really compare it to that. That's got a 65 million. I think this is gonna be around the $5 or $6 mark. $5. Within the first couple of weeks. That's what I reckon. Neo Exchange will be next, right? This one here is going to be about $4 to $5, maybe $5 either side in the first week, but it's got to go on a decent exchange. It's got to go on a Binance. But this is obviously their own blockchain. So, but yeah, if it goes on, yeah, we'll go on Binance. If it goes on Binance, then it'll be, yes, it'll 10x. Yeah, it's definitely going to 10x. It's just a matter of time. But I reckon, yeah, about $4 or $5 within the first week, 2 weeks. Absolutely. It's a good project, and there's a lot of people on this waiting list, and 50 million total supply is 50 million. So yeah, I think this one's going to be easy money, guys. Easy money. I'm talking easy money. I'm talking double your money. Like you're 5% in the bank. That's not easy money. That's hard money. But if you're gonna look, guys, if you're gonna double your money, don't get me wrong. That's bloody good money, right? You're putting in $1 and someone's giving you $2 back. That's a good deal. So yeah, if in that respect, yeah, if you can double your money, that's easy money. I think this will double easy. I think it'll be about $4 or $5 within the first couple of weeks, and then it'll 10x maybe within 3 months. That's my opinion on this one. So yeah, I think it's a safe bet, this one. Big wraps on it too as well. All right, so that's my opinion on that one, Sakat. But don't come into it and say, oh, I'm just going to 10x. You know what I mean? That's not the right way to think about it. The right way to think about it is this. all right, I'm going to come in, I'm going to put some money into it. If I can get my seed out, then I've made my money, I got nothing to lose. Then ride it. If it goes to 10x, you know, I've made 9x profit. I've got my money back, and I made, that's the right way to do it. The wrong way to do it is, hey, I'm going to put all my money in, and I'm not going to pull it out until it reaches 10x. That's the wrong way to go about it. Hey, Bersha, Lou, hey, Sherman. You know what I mean? So you got to think. You got to be smart about it. You got to think of it. Yeah, you got to think about it from an investor's perspective, and it's ticking all the boxes, right? It's ticking all the boxes of it should do well. Again, you know, this is just based on, you know, token metrics, data. They seem like they got a good team. You know, so it should do well, but again, you still have to approach this. As soon as it reaches like a 2 or 3x, pull your seed out. Don't be greedy. Then once you got your seed out, who cares if it goes to 10x? You got nothing to lose. It's all house money, right? It should go to 10x, but it might take longer. But then again, you look at OneChain. OneChain was a big deal, right? It took 6 months. It came straight out of the gate at what, $9, and then it dropped to $5. So it was a 14x, 15x out of the gate. But this is no OneChain. But you know, I think I've got this on Telegram. But if I was to rate this, I would say this is a done deal. It's a done deal. Meaning, you're going to win. You're going to make more money than you lose. All right, that's what I mean by done deal. You know, it's going to be a good return. You put $1 in, they give you $2 in. I mean, geez, man, that's a good return, guys. All right. So yeah, that's my opinion on it, Sicat. House money, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So you bought it at 45 cents, bargain hunters. It's crazy. I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded about that. Imagine if you bought $1,000 worth. If you bought $1,000 at 45 cents, that's crazy. You'd have, my math's sucky. $1,000 times 0.45. 400. You'd have 450 tokens. No, that's not right. Let's just say you bought them at 50 cents. You'd have 1,000 at 50 cents. You'd have 2,000 tokens times $14. Yeah, you'd have 28,000 now. That's not bad return for $1,000. So yeah, guys. Yep, but I sold too soon. Oh, okay, you sold it. Okay, yeah. See, Neo's cheap, guys. It's cheap. Let's look at OneChain again. See the volumes dropping again. See the volumes now. The volume's now under 13,000. Before it was 13,000. Now it's 12,009. The volume's dropping. But the price is still holding. Still $4.24. It might level off. I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. Just wait. Look, if I was gonna buy back in, this is what I would do. And if you were to looking at buying OneChain, just have a think about what I'm gonna say. So what happened is now everyone's kind of, you know, many people that have taken profits at 14x, right? If they were smart, you'd take profits. Anyway, 14x, like, you're an idiot. You put $1,000, you get 14,000 back. Why are you not? Where can you get that shit? You know what I mean? It's just, anyway. So now many investors that bought OneChain have sold, right? Sold their OneChain. So now people that are just buying it are just, you know, basically trying to buy into it that didn't get it at the ICO level, right? There's buying, selling, going back and forth. Now the volumes dropped from 100,000 Ether to now 12,000 or 12,009. So what's that saying? It's saying that all the people that have initially bought one chain at the ICO price have either sold. People are trying to come pick up one chain and bought the one chain that these people sold, and now those people have now bought into it. And now it's just bits and pieces going to and forth. And now it's like it's like a cup of tea, right? This is a perfect example. When you make a cup of tea, it's really hot in the beginning, but after 5 minutes, it gets warm, and then after 10 minutes, it's like starting to get cold. And then your coffee goes that kind of that murky color. You look at your coffee and it's cold, right? Because you look at the surface of it, and it's got this kind. Everyone knows that, right? Drinking cold coffee, and you go, I can't drink that. It's got this murky color on the top. So this is what's going to happen. Exactly what's going to happen with one chain. It happens exactly for every ICO. So listen up. Initially, there's going to be a lot of hype. Hey, buy a one chain, whatever. Right? I missed out. I'm going to buy. I'm going to sell. Blah blah blah. And then your cup of coffee gets cold. Right? And then what happens about a week later? This is exactly what happened with Wabi. It's exactly what happened with Icon. Right? These are big ICOs at 50x. It'll get cold. Your cup of coffee is going to get cold. The volume's going to drop. And guess what? The price is going to drop. Right? Now, if Bitcoin goes down any lower, the price is going to drop. Right? We could drop to $3.50 or $3. Now, if Bitcoin goes down to 8,000, 7,000 again, obviously your Ethereum is going to be worth less. Okay, so that's the thing. You're going to be buying into YB you're going to be buying into one chain, and you're going to go, I got it for $3. But then again, your Ether went from 500 to $400. So did you really get it for $3? Probably not, right? So so what I'm saying is, if this drops like down to $3.50 or $3 like within the next day, that's good. And if Ethereum still stays to like 520 or whatever Ethereum is now, if Ethereum doesn't drop and this drops, then it's a perfect buying opportunity if you want to buy into one chain, right? Now long term, I would buy some one chain, right? I sold my one chain. I'm just going to wait for it to buy back in, because long term they got their test net coming, right? Their mainnet. Their mainnet is coming like next month. The price of one chain is going to moon again. Right? It's going to moon again. So you want to have some one chain, right? Because it's going to moon, and then what you're going to do is then sell off. So I'm waiting for the price to drop. So I'm going to buy back in, right? I'll have more one chain to play with than originally started with, right? And then when it hits the mainnet, it's going to moon again, right? So that's my take on it, guys, right? When that happens, well, you just have to watch the chart. You have to keep up the news yourself, right? That's your job, not my job. I'll try to feed you as much information, but I might do a live stream like, dude, I just bought my one chain. Where are you, right? You should have kept up to date with it, right? Or I could have been like, I missed it. I should have kept up to date. So that's why you do your due diligence. Don't rely on people to give you the information, and then you get like a this guy here, like Ian Bellina, who then sells his stuff off, and then you get mad. Well, why are you blaming him? You're responsible for your portfolio. That's what I don't understand about people. Not taking responsibility. Yes, Tommy, I'm waiting for the dip. I bought 3001 on ED, but now one says they don't honor them. Yeah, probably because there was some scam. There was some scam one on ED. Right? So yeah. One chain was they brought stuff out about that people were selling scam one on ED. So I don't know what you bought it at, but if you're buying one chain at less than ICO price at 34 cents, then you're probably getting the wool pulled under you, right? You're into loop ring. Okay, I'm not really sure about loop ring incentive program. I'll triple my loop ring. I don't know about loop ring bargain hunters. I'll have to have a look at. I think I've seen it, but I've never looked into it. I've looked into Loom Network, but not Loop Ring. As 49 cents. It's got a billion supply. Decentralized exchange, open protocol. What's the markets on it? Okay, it's got some decent. Maybe I'll have to study this one up. There's so many exchanges now. At the moment, I'm focusing on Next exchange. I think this one's easy money, guys. Like, I'm talking easy money. I'm talking about 1x. I mean, double your money. That's what I'm talking about, easy money. Where are you going to double your money safely? Right? This is just my opinions, not financial advice. Do not take as gospel. If you buy into it, lose your money, do not come back and see me, because you're responsible for your own investments. I'm just giving you this information so then you can make an informed decision, not copy my shit blindly. Alright, cool. Alright, guys, well, with that said, I'm not sure why this is not updating. That's weird. But with that said, thanks everyone for tuning in. And what's the next big coin rise? I don't know. I'm not sure. Bitcoin. Oh, mate, it's all happening, guys. It's all happening. So keep watching OneChain. Let's go and see BNB now. Let's just go and see BNB before we leave. Oops. $3.84. Since I've been talking to you, see, I've got to sold it at $14. I've lost 14 cents thanks to you. Oh, jeez. It's all your fault, hey? It's like, it's all your fault you sold your icon. Hey, I was holding my icon, but you sold, now it's all your fault. I mean, this is what people are saying. Totally ridiculous. Well, if you were watching it, then why are you blaming someone else? You know, this is sort of mentality that we get. Oh, it's going back up now. Oh, going back up. Going back down. So anyway, I got to go. I got to go sell some BNB. So with that said, guys, catch you guys later. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Have a good day. See ya.